Hi everyone, I'm Rakate. We live in Pakistan's Baltistan Gilat region, and while some roads in life can change people's lives, this one terminated the lives of many. We spent a lot of attempts to get here, and we even witnessed fatalities. First of all, the locals of Nangka Parbat, the ninth largest mountain in the world, are completely neglected, opened this route, and since then, it has never been restored. We began our trip in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, and are currently traveling by bus to Musaphir, where we will meet our private driver. The bus came to a stop as we were anxiously considering the route, and the man with the camera ordered everyone to take off their masks before beginning to capture our faces. For additional identification, after checks, we arrived at the point of zero danger. From here, we will travel for around 12 to 15 hours, which is the total time needed to get to our starting point in Gilgit. We are currently on the Karakoram highway, which was constructed as a commerce route, and we intend to travel the world's most hazardous road to reach Fairy Meadows. The trip should take us about 24 hours. It is extremely dangerous and was built by the Pakistan-China Corporation in the 1960s and 1970s to connect the cities of Islamabad, Pakistan, with Kashgar, China. Over 1,000 workers have been killed. There are landslides music that make the road even more slick while it is being built. While we are moving forward with the risk of AA crashing on us at any moment, we are continuously seeing signs to turn music back, even in the beginning. We're hoping that what we're witnessing here won't happen to us as passing cars wait for us to cross this small section of the road. A rock tumbles upon our ambulance has just arrived after a military vehicle that was 15 minutes ahead of us fell down the music cliff. There are casualties in this Newark, which is why the automobile rolled down from the location he is pointing at so close to the conclusion, killing people. Acme rolled down from here when they removed the car one by one. You can see the places where pebbles have fallen upon steel barriers and smashed them into bits. Are in danger simply by remaining here. An ock could fall on us, our tire has a leak, and an ale got through. We can see a massive rock that fell. A rock landed on the seafront window only a few minutes ago. While you were waiting to have it removed, the track significantly narrowed the route. Pakistan is a country with mountains. This area contains 4 of the 14 mountains in the world that are higher than 26,000 feet. Conquering them takes perseverance, skill, and courage. Puddles and steel floods are not being drained from uneven roads. That lack drainage, the road has fallen. We experience nausea when traveling on crumbled roads. Music since we were unable to have our car's flat right rear tire fixed. Air is put into it as a temporary fix. This is such a torture, as well as another incident for 20 minutes. Individuals have been mending the road with their bare hands. At this point, we're hoping that Norks will fall on us from the hill. One of them typically moves backward and hides to make room for other vehicles as they pass by. Music Pakistan, a third accident in Karakoram is occurring today, and we haven't even arrived in the most hazardous area yet. This illustrates the risk we are taking with our lives. A terror makes Karakoram is full of fresh air, fast-moving streams, steep mountains, and music that makes our stomachs feel even worse. The dangerous aspects of music that we encounter on the journey captivate us and merely lure us to danger by their beauty. Music the Bunny-O. At last, we made it through. We are on a road so hazardous that it would be a tale to travel through the most dangerous one without experiencing this one. We observed individuals falling and getting into accidents on these roads. So we are in the void and have reached the end of the road, since this is a whole new risk on its own, which we began at 11 a.m. and it is currently 10:53 p.m. Nearly 12 hours later, the actual trip will begin following the night. We'll rest, regain our energy, and then travel the most hazardous road in the world to the hotel where we'll be staying. As you can see, there are spiders in this restroom. Reps all around the place have a lot of insects trapped in them, so they put a teeth-cleaning twig there called a miswa. It looks like every visitor uses the same one because this is the used one, and it's filthy toilet. This road is so dangerous that our driver is unable to drive on it. You saw that he has excellent reflexes and is a really talented driver. But this road will make for a difficult night. Not every driver who loses their driver's license on this route will also be a passenger with us. If it's a major issue, we'll try our best and stick our music okay. The camera is here, and you're not wearing a seatbelt. We are holding our music breath as the safety barrier is lowered since, as you may see, this is not an asphalt road. We're just traveling down the arbitrary Fairy Meadows trail that departs from Karakoram, and there are no safeguards against steel barriers or asphalt in the event of land collapses or rock falls from above. The highway will take us to Tata Village, where we will rise narrowly before arriving to Fairy Meadows, a sight from heaven's reach that many travelers have visited by traveling through the clouds. At 10,800 feet, have perished on the music road, which is so steep that our neck muscles are worn out trying to support our heads. It feels like we're traveling through villages of the 9 largest mountains in the world, are currently at the beginning point and have not yet reached the hazards because of the terrain and the road, which they were unable to construct since the Globe Nangaparpa opened this road and it hasn't been fixed. Our drivers should always keep their eyes on the road when traveling on this route, which has buried many individuals. Holes before this 3-hour, 2-kilometer gravel route, which occasionally serves as a memorial for those who have fallen and died, be observed at the accident scenes. We hope to avoid one and maintain our motivation. Look down, gentlemen. There is no shelter and the wind is beginning to, as you can already see. There are no safety measures in place to stop a car from crashing off a cliff and catching fire. Climbing rocks in addition to causing a boulder to fall on our heads. A landslide can also send us plummeting to the ground when we start to travel on extremely thin pads. The amount of adrenaline is increasing. Music right now. The world's most hazardous road runs beneath our cliffs. If a car falls, it could blow up. But we undoubtedly lose our lives since it's too dangerous. From the side, these routes appear much more dangerous because there is no protection and a landslide has cleared the area. We are in the CL out and will continue to climb higher. We are actually at the beginning of the road, but there is no phone coverage in case something were to happen to us. We hiked up these dangerous paths, which the locals refer to as the Grave Road. I pray that this way won't be our Graves Road because we can't reach anyone here. We have a long way to go, mountains, and it's windy and pouring. They say it will start to snow, but you see, we're in a natural setting. The weather in Pakistan is becoming worse. Beautiful. The music is trapped in our Jeep. Road music, music claps, music following a minor correction. We proceed with our music voyage. I really want to complete this since the wind and rain have gotten stronger and rocks could fall on. U.S. road here as soon as possible. You will hear these kinds of horns at every turn. And leaving this moment is equivalent to holding your breath every second. Our hands and feet are sweating. The driver is attempting to alert other drivers to the approaching fallen rock by pulling it away from the blind spots and fast curves so that the road won't be music obstructed. It doesn't appear secure at all, and even this video doesn't adequately describe what we're going through. Enough that we close our eyes as we pass narrow bands to avoid seeing cliffs starting right next to the car's tires. If something goes wrong, like a 5-cent gasket failing, everything is the applause. Music automobile is having trouble. I hope you won't get stuck here. The drone went into autopilot and struck a rock. It looks terrible. As it passed through these rocks, the communication link was severed, and it switched back to home mode while traveling straight. It struck one of these hills, leaving me gasping for air, but it was unable to adjust its height in return. Home mode and didn't rise where it should have. At least we can keep the recordings inside for the time being. Nothing bad has happened to us, and we are glad to be alive, even though the automobile beats us up along the trip and hits us at every turn. Roughness varies with location. The road narrows so much that we exit the Jeep to see if our car can pass through, because we fear something might fall from above. As you can see, we just want to get it done. There aren't many spots for cars to make a U-turn on this trip, so we can't go back as quickly as possible. However, just take in the natural beauty. Look at that tree. It somehow grew horizontally. Very wet and slick. A boulder that fell from above caused the bridge's curvature, making it impossible to use to traverse around the narrow, since there is a significant risk of rock falls at this point and the trail is too narrow for the Jeep to pass. I requested them to turn around. They refused to stay, so we'll keep eating, even if it's really cold music outside. But this is the day the row is, you know very little about going to the mountain.